Well, hey guys, welcome back and happy holidays from Zeal'S Cigars. Today we're smoking two cigars that we smoked before individually but never together. All next on the Zeal Cigar Review. All right, man, let's talk about, again, the 2023 winner of our brand of the year, Sagrado. Sagrado cigars have been taken over here, and I am loving every cigar that I absolutely smoke from them. And I'm going to be smoking one that I smoked at first and didn't quite like it. Remember that?
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah. You didn't really enjoy it.
I didn't really enjoy it. I usually like a good Maduro. So today,
you actually said that in front of him.
Yeah, I did. I mean, just yeah. First off, let me say this: I don't need to kiss anyone's butt, and I never do that. So when I got the cigar, it didn't taste the way that I thought it should. I told the guy, "You gotta give me something better immediately."
He did,
and he gave me the Lilith, which blew my mind. The Lilith was a great cigar, but this cigar, the Sagrado Charismatico, was the very first cigar that I tried from him, and I actually liked it a little bit, but not enough to actually want to smoke it again. So I smoked it later on and actually liked it a lot, and I smoked it again and I liked it a lot. So here I am to review it with you, but you're not smoking this cigar. You're smoking a different one, just the opposite of the cigar. What are you smoking?
The Connecticut.
What's that called?
The Suave.
Ooh, Rico Suave. So the Connecticut is the Suave, and you've had it before?
Uh-huh.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I typically don't smoke Connecticut's, and I really enjoyed this one. It's more of a medium-bodied Connecticut. Actually, it's an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and I think yours is a Mexican San Andreas.
Yes.
And then they both have a Criollo 98 binder.
Ooh.
And then Habano Criollo 98.
Ooh.
And then Dominican filler, a little bit different for both.
Okay, okay. Well, the only way to find out how these things really smoke, you know what we got to do. We got to cut light and
smoke. So far, I've actually smoked a couple of these at home. So yours apparently is supposed to pair well with bourbons and whiskey. And mine is supposed to be good with spiced rum, blended whiskey, or a Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Sauvignon, how do you, I don't know. I don't
Sauvignon Blanc? Sauvignon Blanc?
I don't drink wine.
I don't drink wine either. I can't even pronounce half the wines I see.
Yeah.
The first pronounced note on this is like a really creamy wood. And it's not cedar. It's like a darker wood. But it does have a little bit of spice to it. Not much, which I'm shocked. It's my first cigar of the day. It's like almost 3 o'clock. So to be honest with you, I thought it'd be more peppery because I've been hitting that more and more, but it's not nearly as peppery as I thought. A little bit of spice on there, but not a ton of burn. Not very little burn. I'd say the spice or the burn on here, so power on here is probably like a 4.
Yeah, I remember that being very, I didn't expect it to be as light as it was when I smoked it. Yeah, it was very light and fluffy.
It is.
For being a Mexican San Andreas.
It's very good, though. I mean, it really is good. I don't have a whole lot. I was expecting some cocoa, maybe. Not a whole lot of that. More creamy, woody, maybe a little nutty in there.
See, I get a little bit of cracked white pepper. Some leather. A little bit of woody sweetness.
It is sweet on the retrohale. There is a spicy sweetness on the retrohale on this one. That really does lend itself to some good smoke bellows. So if you're somebody like me who likes blowing smoke in your own face, I like to kind of just let the smoke, kind of plume up around.
That's where you normally blow smoke.
Yeah, blowing in your own face. So I like letting the smoke plume up my nasal cavity and so on and so forth, maybe retrohaling to taste everything in the cigar. And this is pretty complex. It's really good, though. So that wood's given birth to a little bit of like a hint of mapley chocolate. There's like some maple in there. Yeah, like a mapley chocolate in there. Yeah, Sagrado is a newer company out of the Dominican Republic. It's a very, very good cigar. Let me just say this about the cigar. There's a really interesting wood, maple, and like cocoa-y sweetness that is on the retrohale that I've not quite got out of another cigar before. And maybe I was in a bad mood when I came in and I smoked this first time, but
you probably were because you were late. You were late.
I was late.
I called you. I'm like, hey man, do you remember we had this meeting with this dude named John from some Cigarro company? And he's like, Cigarro? Who's Cigarro?
If I walk in late to a meeting, I'm never in a good mood. So, but yeah, it's rare that I do, and it's rare that I walk in and I smoke a cigar in a bad mood.
Yeah, if you're somebody that typically doesn't smoke Connecticut's because you find them really boring, this one is not. It's got enough of a burn to keep you in like the Habano to the lighter Maduros. It's got enough of the sweetness if you still like the Connecticut. You want something lighter in the morning. Got some sweetness, a little bit of like leathery. It's very good. I like it. I really do.
I would say this has some leather in it as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. Very light though. The flavors that
Not
meld,
much, yeah.
The flavors that meld together do so very well. There's not like one overpowering flavor. They kind of dance in between, that maple I was telling you about, that wood, maybe a little bit of nuttiness, the sweetness on the retrohale, and the spice are very well balanced in the cigar.
I get a really unique sweetness every once in a while that reminds me of like a the caramel candies that with the cream.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking
But
about.
with like little spice to them.
There is something about this cigar as well. It does have and maintains a very good natural tobacco taste. That sweet tobacco with a little bit of subtle spice. It's very good in that regard as well. Guys, we're going to smoke this in the second third, and then we'll come back and tell you what we think about it, so be right back. Boom. First off, look at the ash on this thing. It's holding on for dear life, and I'm going to continue to smoke it down the label just to see how far the ash can go. Now it's curving up a little bit. It's not quite as pretty as some other ashes I've seen, but the cigar in and of itself developing out really, really well. Again, lots of like wood, lots of like creamy spice, also like some sweetness. That maple is still there, a little bit of leather. I'm actually liking it a lot for San Andreas.
Okay.
So what about you?
Gets a lot more caramel, more cream, more of that like mix of that like caramel cream candy. Very good. Once you get
I can't stand doing that too long.
once you get through the a little bit into the second third, it gets a little bit more woody.
Okay.
Just a little bit more woody.
Okay. Well, we're going to smoke these things down past the label and get to the nub and let you know how they finish. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. What's up, guys? We are back with a passion and a fury for Sagrado cigars because this little nub right here started off a lot longer and has been delicious every single puff of the way. What about you?
Dude, really good Connecticut, really solid. Definitely not boring. Definitely not a boring Connecticut.
Yeah.
Very good. Sweetness, earthy, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of woodiness, a little bit of caramelness. Very solid smoke.
Yeah, this thing is performed all the way through. Really good notes of wood, leather, a little bit of maple I taste in there, with a little bit of like cocoa that comes and goes, and a nice spice that's very, very balanced and not overpowering. I would say it's a solid medium cigar, not full-bodied and definitely not light. So it's a solid medium as far as the power is concerned. As far as the value is concerned, this is probably a $12 cigar, I think. What it is. So
it's up there.
the smoke score, I'll give it probably a 9 out of 10. Okay, there's parts of it that kind of burned uneven, but the ash was really good. Everything was great. So the smoke score, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. What about your smoke score?
I would still give mine a 9 out of 10. At 9 out of 10, considering that I smoked one that was already had been dropped and had damage on the foot.
Okay.
No issues smoking it. It's a very easy smoke. I'd give mine a 9 to smoke.
So value cigar, MSRP for that cigar is $10. What's your value?
$10.
What's your value score on that?
I would give this one probably. I would actually probably give it an 8.5.
Okay.
At $10, it's right about that range. I wouldn't give it a 9 because there are some really good Connecticut's that are under $10. But I'd say at $10, this is right about the sweet spot for cigars right now.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.5.
The MSRP for the Charismatico is literally $12 from what I understand. So the question is this a $12 cigar that I would pay $12 for? I would say yes, I would pay $12 again for the cigar because it was complex and everything else like that. What do I think the value score is this? I'll probably give it a little bit less, like an 8, because there are cigars at $12 in particular that I can find that are a little bit more, maybe a little bit better of a value, but not nearly as complex as I think this one was. So if you like San Andreas cigars, you definitely want to try this cigar. If you like Connecticut smooth, creamy cigars, you definitely want to try that one. So this has been a review of the Charismatico and the Suave from Sagrado Cigars. And I've been Bradley, and he's been JB, and this has been the Zeal Cigar Review, and we're out of here like last year. Peace.